Welcome to Athens, Greece, everyone. So Javier will be the first rider out, and again, we talk about this first guy out. He's got to warm everybody up. You know, he's got to warm himself up, the judges up, the audience up, and then he's showing off everything to the other riders. So that's a disadvantage for him.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be the first guy out. You're right. We always talk about it, but that's because it's the truth. But here we go. Javier, he is ready. He had a big crash last night in practice on that jump, actually, I think. He goes a little bit long on the cliffhanger, but, you know, there's some nerves there. These big 450s like he's riding. I mean, a little bit of an extra turn of the throttle. You're going an extra 20 feet. So he's got to calm down, mellow out a little bit. As he goes a big C-grab Indian air backflip there.
We should mention that he is not allowed to do any other backflips or rotational tricks in this run in the first round. So that was his joker trick. This has got to be all upright, traditional style tricks. So no spins.
Yeah, and that's basically taking freestyle back to about 2008, 2009. So he does a side saddle takeoff, so both feet on one side of the motorcycle, if you see that, and then into the kiss of death. So really working these old school tricks here, Troy. And Javier looking solid, though.
He's got to get on the gas for this one last trick here. He's got to be underpowered before the time runs out.
Oh,
wow!
Nice!
Very nice. Now we have Thomas Pagès.
Man, this guy is just, he's changed the face of freestyle motocross.
Well, we've said this so much about Thomas the last little while, and it's come from a desire to progress the sport without having to flip. Back in 2009, he and his brother both suffered pretty devastating crashes when they were attempting a front flip, and Thomas, it looks like he's going to start right away with this trick that was hammering him yesterday.
This is it.
Fantastic.
The first time in competition, we see that alley-oop flare, and now he's
man.
Absolutely backwards.
He's pumped.
On the turn down there. Yeah, and you know, Thomas is that guy, if he stomps that, he likes to put the big trick first, and if he stomps that one,
you know it's
very rarely will see him mess up after that, and he just, that whip was one of the biggest whips we've ever seen from him.
I love that flatliner as well. That is just so amazing.
He lays that trick out further than anybody else, I think, that's ever done that trick. And the alley-oop flare, just wait until we look at that in slow motion. Absolutely incredible. Tom is looking great here. Ruler stretches it out. He's pumped. He just has to, all he has to do is stay on the motorcycle as he just drops 25 feet to flat.
And I think this kid is going to have a very good future. And I think you actually figured out he's only 16 years old.
Well, I mean, that's counted on my math, Troy, which is not my strong suit. But according to the math in my head off our sheet, he's 16 years old. And he had the run of a lifetime last night. I mean, he was absolutely perfect. We only saw him once. He didn't come out for a second run because I think he left everything on the table. Yeah. But body burials and everything. So let's see what he's got.
Wow.
Just big whip there. Not the turn down style. It was more the C-bound style whip. Got it right upside down. And to be the age this guy is, and to be riding with the poise that he's riding with is really impressive.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Well, there's his joker trick, and he landed it. Although it looked from our perspective, I think, like he was going to go into the wall.
It did look like he was going to go into the wall, and we're actually so far away from these jumps right now. I couldn't quite tell was that the vault or the California roll. We were so far away.
Good point.
We're going to have to check it out in our slow-mos. We have the bird's eye view up here, I'd say, where, well...
I'd say we're 150 meters up in the air. It feels like it anyway.
We are, and Christian just continuing to go on perfect trick after perfect trick. Great extension. You know, he went a little long on that varial trick, but other than that, he's been spot on, and this is going to be tight.
All right, the horn sounds before he made it into the corner, so I'm pretty sure that this last trick will not count. Next rider up, Nick Franklin from New Zealand. This guy has been around this game a long time. We haven't seen him in quite a few years, but really, really nice to have him back in the mix here.
It's great to have Nick back, and I was chatting with him earlier. He just said, you know, he only had about a week's notice to come here. He's only been riding demos, so he just hadn't had a lot of time to really perfect a lot of new tricks, but...
Yeah, but saying that, he's got a couple of nice tricks in his bag of tricks, if you want to put it that way.
He absolutely does, and to be finishing where he finished last night and qualifying, and here we go, little Indian air on the dirt step up to start off, which is great for the use of course, and then right into a very nice lazy flare.
And this is great because I like the way he chose to do the line. It went straight from a really big jump into that flare, and he's got good flow going on already.
So a little thing to point out there for the variety judge, you just saw the super kicker, he actually did a Superman Seagram Indian air again, so second out of 3 tricks, so that's not going to be great for the variety judge.
Yeah, you can't make that mistake.
But we just had a little Shaolin bar hop from Nick, and he just said earlier, he said, I'm just pumped to be here. I was on the couch a week ago, and I got the call from Tess and said, hey, you know what, I might not be totally ready, but I'm going to do it anyway. Big cliffhanger. And I think we're going to see, we should see a varial out of Nick here, a California roll if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but he's got to be careful because he's already used up his one joker trick here because of the flare. So if he does a California roll or anything, this guy, really, really interesting case, opted not to ride the second run yesterday because he knew he was going to end up in this first round and decided to come out and try and do the damage here now.
Well, we've got such a big course here and so many options and opportunities for different line choices. Remy choosing to start at the very top of the course. You hear that big 450. He'll start off.
Wow.
One-handed
nice
heart attack. A little bit of executioner style there. And as he drops down, look, he's got a big camera, an onboard camera there in his rear fender. I wonder if that's going to throw him off at all. Kiss of death backflip.
That's his joker right there.
Oh, well, I guess he doesn't have a camera on his rear fender anymore.
Not anymore.
That was short-lived.
I was talking with Busty Walter, and he said he was having trouble keeping the thing on there because the frame kept breaking, and he needs to build an aluminum frame for it.
Yeah. Heart attack style getting off the side there.
One thing I just wanted to say, one thing I really, really like about Remy's style is that it's so smooth and flowy when he gets into these tricks, and he's so flexible. In that particular trick right there, the kiss of death, he had that head right next to the fender and then scorpion those legs over. Just fantastic.
And you see he's worked his way all the way back up. C-grab Indy again. It's a tough road to go. So Christian Meyer
here we go.
Coming in 5th, 79.5. Had a great run, but hey, a lot of times the new guy doesn't make it through qualifying.
Yeah.
So I think he's a little confused maybe, but you know what? Pretty good showing for the new guy, and I think at his age, there's a long ways for him to go.
All right, let's see who's going to take 4th. Nick Franklin from New Zealand breaking the 80s with an 80.5 in 4th place. So those two guys, we won't be seeing them anymore tonight. That's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
Well, Nick said he was just happy to be here, so really great to see him back on tour. I have a feeling in case to be ready to get the call next time, he's going to go home and hone a couple more tricks.
For sure. Javier Villegas, he's got 3rd place in this one, so good job by Javier. Nice to have him back, as we said.
Especially after a big crash last night, too. I mean, when you hit your head and you see white,
that's not
very good. Yeah, it's good that he's back here and was feeling okay. He said he's a little stiff, so.
All right, the battle now comes between Remy Bissoir and Thomas Pagès. Let's see who it's going to be. Oh, it's only
0.2.
Yeah, point 2 is it. And let's see. Remy Bissoir, Thomas Pagès. Thomas Pagès! Oh, my goodness. Thomas manages to get through round 1. This Clinton Moore on top, having won there against Levi Sherwood in the head-to-head final. Thomas Pagès takes 3rd place overall. Danny Torres, who we just mentioned, is in 4th. Remy Bissoir and Adam Jones mixing it up in the top 6. And then we see from 7 to 12, Villegas, Brody Wilson, Jeremy Rouanet, Harry Bink, Eric Ruiz, and Matt Ribot all factor in here. First quarterfinal heat coming up with Danny Torres versus David Rinaldo. Let's get it on.
France versus Spain here, and take a look at where we are. This is absolutely incredible.
Tonight it's a big night. It's all or nothing.
Well, it's true, all or nothing. I mean, he's got to lay it down against Ronaldo right now if he wants to move on to the semifinals. He had a good start to the year in Mexico, 4th place, which for the way Danny started the last couple of years, I think 4th is actually a pretty good start.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
know, he put a solid result into the books, and now we see he's going to get going right here.
I will say, though, that I think Danny Torres has a slight disadvantage against David Ronaldo because David is one of those guys that's bringing a few of those new school rotational and variational tricks to the table. So, and that's what we're still waiting for Danny to come with.
Very true. He starts off strong with a great lazy boy backflip, really extending it out straight into the rock solid, and let's just keep track of some of these, let's call either new school or the huge inverted tricks. Danny gets going, another Cordova backflip, so that's a second backflip. Let's call it the high level backflip tricks right now. And then C-grab backflip. I'm not sure if he was looking to do that double grab backflip, which he actually has in his arsenal.
Yeah, it's a strong trick for him.
And if he does the C-grab backflip and a double grab backflip, I think the variety judge may actually dock him a little bit, even though difficulty-wise, that's at the top of the chain.
He's got about 20 seconds left in his run, by the way.
All right, let's take a look here. Executioner backflip, which is C-grab backflip, and then reaching back with the left hand and tapping on the boot. So great variety so far. 7 seconds left. He should be absolutely fine to hit this one. He's got the flip levers flipped up. Let's see what he's got to finish off strong here. And it's the Paris Hilton back.
Hello, I'm Rinaldo from France. My best moment in FMX is when I finish my run and without mistake, so I'm pretty proud about myself.
If you look at the right hand and the middle finger of his right hand, he's not holding on to the bar with it. He broke his finger really badly with a compound fracture through the skin last year at the end of a tour that he's participating in. And I mean, he won the championship that year in that tour, but he also broke his hand so significantly, and he hasn't been able to hold on to the bars properly. And he's just incredible that he's still doing these tricks.
California roll by Ronaldo. That's a new one for him, and really is what got him into, I would say, got him straight into this quarterfinal last night from qualifiers. And then the Bolt, which is the body varial, and when you just look at it in fast motion like this, it looks like almost exactly the same trick, and especially from where we are, way up here in the hill. But when we look at it in slow motion, we'll be able to break down the small differences in those two tricks.
Well, 2 jumps in already, and he's got 2 big new school tricks, and then the double grab flip. Absolutely
like a
incredible.
Double grab heart attack. He really had that thing stretched out. Barely got back on the bike in time, and Ronaldo came to play tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's the advantage here over Danny Torres. He's just attacking this course with everything that he's possibly got.
Wow. And a one-handed takeoff into almost heart attack backflip off the super kicker. So that you'll see a lot of guys do one-handed takeoffs, but they're sitting down, they're into right side up tricks, and Ronaldo really throwing it down here tonight. Great extension there on his last kiss of death.
Here we go.
Could get use, of course.
So variety, as you said, definitely goes to David Ronaldo.
And that's because he had flip tricks, regular tricks, and varial tricks.
Execution, however, goes to Danny Torres. Here's where it gets interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Danny always.
Oh, style goes to Danny. This may go Danny's way. Let's see.
Wow. Oh, that's
Use,
the one. That was the one that could have been the decider there.
Yeah, so here we go. It's now down to the energy, and Danny played this crowd really, really well.
He did, but he played the crowd after the judging was finished.
Oh, it's David Ronaldo.
And Ronaldo takes it.
There we go. That's our battle in quarterfinal number 2 in head-to-head action.
Now, I feel like we're going to see the same type of battle we just saw. We're going to...
What's up? I'm Adam Jones from the United States. I deal with the pressure by just pretending I don't care, telling everybody I don't care, even though I guess I do a little bit.
Adam does care a little bit.
For sure.
He's won one of these tour shots before.
Cairo.
He's ridden more events around the world than maybe anybody, and he's got some of the biggest tricks in the book. But Adam is not bringing the varial tricks out here, so it's going to be a battle of execution like that. The rigor mortis, his own trick, his own spin on the dead body that no one else does like Adam.
Nobody does that.
We love the extension he puts into that trick. So it's going to be perfection on execution versus Adelberg bringing the varials. Bringing the turntable to no-hander. And well, that's one way to capture the show. His memories are going to last. Adam makes his way up to the top of the course. And look at that cliffhanger flip. There's that extension I was talking that Adam can bring. As good as anybody else or better at that trick. He's locking the bars in very low on his shins, which is harder than putting it up by your knees. And then stretches out the Indian air, rock solid. Great line choice by Adam.
Yeah, he's keeping the flow going, which is super important here for the judges.
And really stretches out the kiss of death backflip. Still 15 seconds left. We may get 1 to 2 more jumps out of Adam here.
I have a feeling we're only going to see the one jump out of him because he's opting to go down to this bottom level here.
All right, and the wind is howling right now, actually, so.
Oh,
and
wow.
the stripper backflip for Adam.
Next up, Rob Adelberg.
I'm from Adelberg and I'm from Australia. When I ride here in the Down Easters marble quarry, I'm not going to play marbles.
I'm not laughing because that was funny. I'm laughing
because I don't understand
I think something was lost in translation there, Adelberg. Well, let's not ride like you're on marbles, buddy, because it is slippery out there. We are on this super slick dirt piled on, I mean, really powdery dirt piled on top of sheer rock and slippery rock. So Adelberg starts off, big Cordova flip, nice extension. A lot less rush than what we saw Torres do. Looking forward, chin up, and he held that, which is great.
And this is one of the things that we've seen from Rob in the last few years, since 2012, actually, when he's just gotten a little bit more calm about his riding, a little bit more collected.
And wow, that was a big California roll, and then doesn't hesitate going into just kind of an old school fuzzy hall tabletop action there on the quarter pipe. So he gets the use of course. He doesn't do the 540 or the flare like a lot of these guys are doing, but he still gets the use of course and uses it as a nice transition to get to his next jump, the super kicker. And a nice cliffhanger flip. Gets the feet up on the handlebars like Adam did, but he doesn't quite open up at the hips quite as much as Adam did, but still very solid trick there for Adelberg.
A lot of time left in this run here.
And he stretches that out to a side saddle lander and then gets both his feet back over here for kiss of death flip. Very nice landing. 6 seconds left. Is he going to make it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So even if you're not flaring the quarter pipe like we just saw Adelberg do, he hit it, which means he gets that use of course point.
Yeah.
I know that one bit him in Munich before.
Rob Adelberg gets variety. Execution also goes to Robbie. Use of course. Ooh, Adam Jones takes use of course. Well, there you go. Lesson learned beforehand.
Well, that really surprises me.
Energy goes to Adam Jones. Wow,
nice,
this is another close battle. Style.
Man, that's tight because they both rode so well and so extended.
85.5 to 5. Oh, wow, just 0.5 points different. And Robbie Adelberg will move on to the semifinal in Mexico.
In Mexico, 2 months ago. So has Levi brought something new to the table? And is Clinton going to ride as well as he rode last night?
We'll see. Up first, Levi Sherwood.
Hey, I'm Levi Sherwood from New Zealand. This was a big quarry and I'm excited for the open space.
All right, here we go. Levi Sherwood going to start off his quarterfinal run here. He's got 20 seconds to get himself in position and start his run. The minute he hits the ramp, his 75-second time will start. And here we go. First jump up. Wow. That's taking
That's
it to a
kind
new
of cool.
different.
And it looked, I mean, they started his time, so I'm not sure with that, but they're a huge upside knack. I say it every time, but one of my favorite tricks on tour. It's just so creative and so just next level of Levi to be doing that trick. I love it ever since he debuted doing that. And then he goes right in. Oh, we're so far away. That looked like a C-grab backflip.
Hard to tell from this angle.
Kind of hard. Possibly executioner backflip.
The cable cam that we saw it from was fantastic, but we just didn't get the angle, so we'll have to wait for the replay on that one.
And really kind of slow. That's why.
Oh,
look at that, the transfer Superman backflip, and that's something you're going to have to see to believe in slow motion. I was wondering why he was kind of setting up so slowly, but that's why. I mean, that is such a new trick, and Levi, not always known for being a progressor in these, let's say, quote-unquote, new school tricks. That is next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And Levi, you know, he really wants to progress and jump up with the other guys, and he, you know, he's going to have to bring these tricks more often.
The turntable to finish out his run.
And more up next.
Hey, I'm Clinton Moore. I'm from Australia. Chasing my kids around is harder than riding my bike.
I know that.
Yeah, I think we all know that one. As you get a nice look here.
Just finish your thought there, depending on how Clinton rides.
Yeah, well, I think, what did he get? 6 tricks there. So, you know, if Clinton does the same amount of tricks, it's going to be very close. But if Clinton gets 8 tricks plus his varials that he does, the Bundy, the Cali roll, it starts off big.
There it is.
The Bundy,
wow.
which is just a take on an old trick, the Electric Doom, that was never really landed to dirt, and he just really looks great. Spins around flat spin on that 540.
Clinton.
And he gets out of there in a hurry, too. A lot of guys land and kind of bounce. Clinton just pins it. He is not messing around. So we're already 3 jumps in, and we're not even 30 seconds deep.
Not even. Clinton's racing this course with all sorts of skill and style. 3.6, nice.
360, nice and just lazy, fluid. And when I say lazy, that's a good thing. Not like he's not trying, but he just looks like he's not trying.
Yeah, it just makes it look so easy and natural and flowy.
And Clinton gets the flip levers up so he can get a little extra leverage on the bike when he flips it out for this kiss of death. Presses back with his forearms against those levers there in order to get the bike under him. Still 20 seconds left, and we get the live energy judging graphic up there. That's Jason Moriarty. And Clinton Moore is already above Sherwood with that, and he gets the vault. And such a crazy angle on that jump.
Yeah,
it looks like
so
he's going
crazy.
straight into the wall of marble. And Moore is going to run out of time before this last jump here, so hopefully he just takes it easy.
This one's for the audience and for the. All right, here we go.
Clinton Moore energy.
Yeah, that one was clear, right?
Yeah.
Execution. There we go. Talking about the execution goes to Levi Sherwood.
I totally see that. Style is tough. I mean, I think
style, Levi as well.
You know what? I see that though. I mean, he's so stylish when he rides.
Clinton Moore gets course use, of course.
That's a tight one there too, because Levi did use the quarter pipe. He just transfer flipped it.
Oh, Clinton Moore gets it. He moves on to the semifinal. Moore, and now down to our quarterfinal number 4. This is going to be a highlight quarterfinal because one of these 2 fantastic riders, Thomas Pagès or Josh Sheehan, is going to be eliminated from competition tonight.
That's crazy to me that we're going to lose Pagès or Sheehan in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely bananas. But this is a final, basically, in the quarterfinal. This is the quality of these riders here. So Tom Pagès will be going up against Josh Sheehan as we look at a clearly disappointed Levi Sherwood in the paddocks there. So our first rider out here will be Thomas Pagès.
Hello, I'm Tom Pagès from France. It's a new location here in Greece. It's time to write new FMX history.
Well, Tom came to ride and write, and he's already written history in round number 1. If you didn't catch it and you saw the recap, alley-oop flare.
Yeah. And this is where he does it right off the hop.
And he starts off hard and fast here. It's just hang on.
Oh, he's got it again. And you can see how powdery and fluffy that dirt is. You were mentioning it earlier. It's just like almost like a resi pit for safety jumps.
And a 75-foot 360, just nice, slow, lazy, looking so good. And the only thing Tom's going to have to fight against here is keeping his emotions under control, because he gets so crazy out there sometimes because he's so pumped up. He lives off the adrenaline of the crowd.
Whoa! Huge transfer.
Wow. That was so cool. I was wondering where he was going there. And we saw him try this last night, and he does it.
Oh, my goodness.
Dirt flare.
The dirt flare.
He didn't even come close last night. And you know what? Tom doesn't care. He goes for it. And now he's lining up again. Look at that. Checking out. Make sure he's in first gear. What's he got now? The bike flip.
The bike flip. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Flare, a bike flip. Oh my God, Tom.
And he's still got a couple of seconds left, although I'm not sure he's going to make this one. Maybe he will. Maybe he will.
We're going to have to check with Brody to see if this counts or not, but...
special flip. You're kidding me.
Hey, I'm Sheehan from Australia. This is a big quarry, and I'll have to dig deep if I want to win. But
oh, man.
Man, as the night goes on, the jokes
just
go
getting worse and worse, huh? That's what my mom would call a groaner.
You can't help but laugh with that mustache, that cookie duster going on he's got. And Josh Sheehan, he's going to absolutely have to dig deep. As he starts off big. Big kiss of death backflip. We know Josh has the double backflip. I think this guy's done more double backs than anybody. And so gets the Indian Air flare. So pretty impressive there. And Josh comes around. Holy grab. Oh, no.
That was a bit of a mistake right there. Did he stall the bike? No, he didn't stall the bike.
The bike's okay, but you don't want to have those small mistakes up against a perfect jump. And it kind of plays into your head a little bit. You see him getting a little off course and just panic revving that 360 around. Even
though did panic rev it. You could hear that thing all the way up here.
He made it perfectly, but he was about an inch from landing off the side of the jump there. It should be a double.
Oh my goodness, it's insane how solid he is with those.
Nice, Josh Sheehan.
Oh boy.
Wow, you see the live, even a double backflip's going to be tough to get up to Pagès' level of live judging.
Was that a double grab flip?
I think that was just a regular C-grab flip.
Okay, 4 seconds, 3, 2. I don't think he's going to make this last jump, or is he? Oh, it might count. It very well might count. We'll have to get a final call on that one.
Stripper flip for Sheehan. That's a newer one for Josh.
So he's got that first helmet. Second one goes to Thomas as well. Wow, 3 in a row for Thomas. He's going to the semifinal. What is happening here? Oh my goodness, 4 helmets already for Thomas, and he gets the last one for Roddy. It's a shutout. It's a sweep.
And I don't think Josh Sheehan is unbelievable. 90 seconds. They were getting between 6 and 8 jumps with the 75 seconds, so they could get another 1 to 2 jumps, possibly even 3 if they plan it right, as we've got the Battle of Australia coming up first, and then the Battle of France.
Yeah, Rob Adelberg going up against Clinton Moore, and Adelberg will be the first to ride here.
All right, so Adelberg's going to start up top. Starting off strong, Cordova flip, just the same way he started his last run, so he may have just added a couple tricks to the end so that he remembers his line, because you don't want to get lost out on this huge course.
No, absolutely not. You want to try and use this as much as possible. Wow, there it is.
Alley roll. And you see again, they got the front end a little bit high there, but not too bad. It's all rodeo style up on the quarter pipe. Now, yes, it's not a flare, but at least he uses it, so he gets that use of course.
Yep.
Which is so important.
Clinton Moore there, not really watching the run from Rob Adelberg, and I'm wondering, how many of the guys are in that state where they don't want to see what the other guys do, and they just want to focus on their own run.
Well, at this level right now, and you've got Moore, your number 1 qualifier, and Adelberg, your number 3 qualifier, so they're not that far apart as Adelberg goes for the side saddle lander. So far, he's kept his tricks all the same, so he must just be adding a couple at the end here. So hopefully he's got a couple big ones. So he finished up with a KOD backflip, and then he's going to work his way up 1 level, back around, now back to the bottom. This is confusing down here. Now the yellow flag waving there signifies 15 seconds to go. Indian air to heel clicker flip.
Clinton Moore coming up for his semifinal run here. Remember, 90 seconds, so probably enough time to get in 1 or 2 extra jumps in the run compared to the quarterfinal, which was 75 seconds long.
All right. Clinton so far had 2 perfect runs. Can he put a 3rd one together? Started off big with the dead body flip.
Yeah, wow, nice.
Really nice execution. Got his legs straightened out at the hips. It's about as far as you can extend that trick, so.
Really flat on that flare as well.
Yeah, he's got a different style than a lot of the guys on that. He really spins it straight up and down. Double grab Indy.
Just looking out the window here, I mean, I can't see him. This course is just so epically large.
It is, and he throws down a perfect 360. So now he's working his way on up 2 levels. It's almost like 60 feet back up to the top of the course here.
Anyway.
Flips up the flip lever, so something big's coming. Kiss of death flip.
Nice and smooth on the landing as well.
Moore, and he still's got a little bit of time left. 20 seconds. And we know we need to see that Bundy. Ah, the bolt.
Oh.
And that is such a crazy camera angle there. Now, I'm wondering if he... this is where he's going to go for it. And all right, he's in. Not a lot of time there. Oh, just a turn down.
Wow,
or just
interesting
a big whip.
choice
Not even
here.
a turn down, just a whip. And so we didn't see the Bundy out of him.
No, but he's still got about 20 seconds left in the run. Here we go.
Love the camaraderie between all these guys. It's such a cool bunch of
Moore
dudes.
gets that first helmet.
Execution.
Adelberg, he's in the mix. Style goes some more.
Looks like Adelberg took a little digger on his forehead there. I'm sure there's a good story behind that one.
And course use goes to Clinton Moore. That means Clinton is moving on to the final with 4 helmets. Working here in the semifinal to try and get enough points from our judging panel to get into another final. And he's got David Ronaldo, who also has a significant list of new school tricks, though. So like you say, it's about Thomas not beating himself in this semifinal run.
Well, and we know Tom is going to start big. On the alley-oop flare here, you see him with that left foot kicking the bike into first gear. I can't even. Oh, no! Oh, no! You know, he's got to hustle. And this is a place where Tom can get into trouble because he's going to be riding on pure aggression and adrenaline right now.
And this is where we don't want him to get a little bit out of sorts, because that's where he can injure himself. We don't want him to do that at all.
No, and okay, so he's got the first jump out of the way. The good thing I have to say is he's on the 252 stroke. And now you see he skipped
the dirt. Yeah, that's smart decision on his part.
Great decision, and he can recover from this. He can recover. He lost about 12 seconds or so, I'd say, on the ground. But his heart rate probably is over 200 beats a minute right now, so he's just got to keep that down. He stretches out the flat line Indian air there, like only Tom can, but he's still got time on the clock.
Yeah, the important thing for Thomas now is not to panic. He's got to keep it together, let that adrenaline be his friend as opposed to his enemy in this case.
And the special flip,
That's
nails
just
it.
too easy for him these
Nails
days.
it. But he's not, David Ronaldo is no slouch, and he's got a lot of these tricks in his arsenal.
He's got to get
With
on
the
this
bolt
now.
and the Cali roll, so he's gonna have to do, making sure he's in first gear here, and the bike flip, this will be the decider, and he does it!
He does it!
Oh,
Fantastic!
wow.
Well, Ronaldo, like you were saying, is absolutely no slouch. So Ronaldo, he's got the California roll. Ronaldo can do the vault. He is using the quarter pipe. He's got all the tricks.
Double grab backflip.
Double grab backflip
and not
as well.
just a double grab flip, like a double heart attack backflip.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
California roll right out the gate.
And
Long on the landing,
real
though.
long. And that's what Pagès was saying last night. He said, for some reason, my bike's got more power here than it does at home, which is the exact opposite of Mexico City. There's the volt. Gets a little crossed up. Must be a little windy down there as we feel the wind whipping through our booth up here, but
happy to have a bit of fresh air up here.
Yeah, this is a tough job up here. You're getting tired watching these guys ride.
Yeah, it's terribly not exciting. But David Ronaldo, there it is, the double grab backflip.
Double grab backflip, and just stomps the landing. And look at that marble dust that they're riding in. Standing one-handed takeoff on the super kicker into a flip seat grab Indian air. That is a mouthful right there of combinations. There's about 5 different things happening.
Well, I mean, David Ronaldo is one of those combo kids. He's got so many variations on these tricks that he can throw out there in combination with each other that it's just hard to keep up with some of those tricks sometimes.
And the holy grab floating back.
Wow, he's got a lot of jumps going on in this with still 15 seconds to go.
Yeah,
I'm not counting
you're
these
not
ones,
counting,
but
but
he's
this
like
looks
way
like the
up.
most jumps we've seen anybody get tonight.
I think he might have 10 jumps in this one. This is insanity.
Oh, he was so close to getting this one, but...
Yeah, this last one I'm pretty sure won't count. Pagès gets energy right off the bat.
We knew that one because it was showed live on the screen, and...
Execution goes to David with a bullet.
Wow, okay.
Thomas, style, of course.
Thomas has just got styles for days.
Oh, Thomas is going to the final with 3 helmets, and variety also belongs to Thomas. So David Ronaldo gets execution, variety, course, style, and the other one I forgot there was all Thomas Pagès. So Thomas will move on to a final here in the 2015 season, his first final this year.
Well, speaking of spectacular,
this head-to-head battle.
I feel like we've seen this before once. And the funny thing is Clinton Moore took the win that time.
Yep. First rider up, Thomas Pagès.
It's time to go.
All right, so Thomas has got to recollect himself. It's not been very long since that crash in the semifinal. He wants to do the same run again, but the difference here is the guys have 2 minutes, and he's got to take that into factor. A lot of time. He doesn't need to rush. He needs to throw down the tricks he knows he can do calmly. Here we go, starting it off.
And he done it perfectly. Absolutely stopped.
Absolutely perfect alley-oop flare. Clinton Moore doesn't want to watch. Here we go.
Throws on the 360, and you know what? That's what I love about Tom. He puts his previous runs out of his mind, and he's starting fresh each time, it seems. And the getting
flare,
up into
Superman.
the Superman flare, he really is getting those feet up above the bike. Absolutely.
And the control aspect on that is just absolutely bananas. Just a beautiful start to this run from Thomas Pagès. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Clinton Moore as he throws out a beauty of a flatliner Indy.
And Clinton isn't watching. He's visualizing his own run. As you see Tom just have a tiny mistake of missing a gear and having to slam back into first gear there. But even if Clinton isn't watching, he can hear the crowd react. And that is definitely going to be in his head as the special flip.
And he almost didn't get that right foot back on board the peg.
wow.
And a ton of time left in this run still.
Something different here they did last second is added this up instead of 90 seconds. It's 120 seconds. And here we go, the bike flip.
Oh no! He has to roll away from it, but he's still got tons of time.
He's got tons of time, and we just saw in his last run, you can make a small mistake.
The question is now, Andy, knowing that he's got 2 minutes now, a ton of time left, does he go back and try and do the bike flip again, or does he continue on with his run as planned?
It looks to me like he's just going to continue on. I don't know if he got twisted up at all there.
He seems okay.
I mean, wow. He just made it so difficult on the judges, because if he would have landed that, it might have been a pretty clear-cut decision. Clinton Moore, can he do it again? Can he go 2 for 2?
Well, that's a tough one. Here we go. This decision is in. Clinton Moore, Thomas Pagès. Moore gets variety. Execution. Goes to Clinton Moore with a bullet. 4 points difference on execution for Moore.
Style. That's going to go Tom. I'll call him Tom.
It's Chloe.
No.
It's Clinton Moore.
He wins. I thought they were going to leave us with a cliffhanger here, Troy. I thought they were going to leave it down to the last one.
Course use also goes to Clinton Moore. And energy. It's a 5.
Wow.
It's a 5 helmet hit for Clinton Moore. He's got 2 in a row. That's 200 points on the season for Clinton Moore. That is an amazing start to the season for that young man from Bundesliga.